Alright guys, so it's interview time with Tessie Nomura. He was in an interview with this website, everyi.it, in which he talked about, of course, the story of Kingdom Hearts 3. He also talked about some of the gameplay elements and things like that. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing they asked him was, Kingdom Hearts 3 will be, according to your statements, the darkest chapter of the saga, which will put Sora and the other protagonists in several drastic moments. The series, however, is not completely new to large doses of pathos. So how are these statements reflected in the script? And compared to the past, how difficult was the writing between the darkest introspection of the heroes and a plot that must draw the sum of a 10-year-old franchise? Nomura would answer this with, the battle against Xehanort, which came to life in the first game of the series, will finally come to an end. However, since the journey Sora is traveling serves to alleviate the pain of having lost his friends in the past, the general atmosphere will be truly dramatic, at least in some phases compared to the previous chapters. In actuality, I think the Kingdom Hearts 3 plot will not really be that grim after all. Neither the relationships between the characters, whether between the main ones or between the protagonists of the various worlds, nor the journey of Sora alongside Donald Duck and Goofy will be particularly dark. In fact, I will tell you, it could even tear out more laughter in the audience than in the past. In this sense, therefore, we could say that it will be a truly wide-ranging story, well balanced between the dramaturgical what the dramatic is he saying dramatical aspect and the comic one. So what he's saying here is that they're trying to get a fair balance of course, moments to where you get a little bit of laughter here and there. This definitely does go against what he was saying during like E3 season, in which he was definitely trying to paint Kingdom Hearts 3 out to be like this very, very dark and grim game. That's going well, at least for the standards of Kingdom Hearts. But when it comes to, of course, Kingdom Hearts 3, all I am hoping for when it comes to these elements, although it is exciting, it was exciting to hear that Kingdom Hearts 3 could have like the darkest story, because that leads to like a potential possibility of death. It leads to a potential possibility of the characters being led into places that they've never been in before. I definitely feel like, of course, it was exciting, but hearing this, it kind of makes a lot more sense, because this is usually the way Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 played out its elements and stuff, in which we had, of course, Goofy, his fake death in Kingdom Hearts 2, in which, of course, everybody just fucking gets angry as hell and everyone separates and Sora is all by himself fighting off all those Heartless as he makes his way down in that mountainside or down that cliff and stuff. I'm gonna call it that. I'm not gonna call it by its fucking area name. I'm not gonna do that. But when he was making his way down that cliffside, of course, you know, that was something that felt serious at first, and then Goofy just comes back and it's all like, yo, nigga, we did all of that for nothing. So definitely, you know, those elements are there. But with Kingdom Hearts 3, I feel like there's so much at stake that I hope by the time we reach the Keyblade War, that kind of takes a back seat. Now, whether or not there's some content beyond the Keyblade War, then okay, we can probably add jokes back to that if everything is okay and everybody makes it back fine and everything works out. But of course, if not, then of course I would love for the tone of the game to stay in that serious setting that pretty much lead to a lot more character development and a lot more character exposition and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that's how things go from there. Every Eye would also ask, one of the predominant elements of the aesthetic of Kingdom Hearts are the clothes. Real kingpins in the character design of each character, and capable of amalgamating the cartoon style with that of the Final Fantasy. How did you conceive the new character designs? What were the inspirations towards their realization? Now, Nomura has spoke about this before in like 2015 when he very first showed this off. I hate it when interviews ask like a reiteration of the same question that we've already had answered before. So he said, actually, I almost never get much from the character design process. Most of the time, I find myself buying so many clothes that I like. I try them on and they inspire me. And indeed, there have been occasions in the past when I used some clothes I had bought for myself as character designs for some characters. A rather exhaustive example will be found in Kingdom Hearts 3 and concerns that the look that Sora will have in the world of Pirates of the Caribbean. The design of his Buccaneer jacket. How the fuck did I not think of that? In fact, is inspired by one of my coats. See, that's like, bro, it's mad easy. He just takes inspiration from real life clothes. Anyways, like in 2015, just to be real short, real quick, in 2015 he said that Sora was more so based off of like athletic gear this time around, because of course he would be doing a lot more athletic stuff. It didn't make sense for him to still have those clothes with all of those damn zippers and stuff on it, so he had more athletic gear that looked more sleek, like as if it would help him navigate around the maps, so that way it would make sense. So of course, you know, he's already spoken on this a little bit. I hate it when they reiterate questions like that. So the last thing that they wound up asking Tetsuya Nomura is that even in previous games, clothes became a playful excuse to give life to the fusion. Okay, so yeah, the fusion between the worlds. Okay, which in terms of gameplay gave enormous variety to the combat system and to the playful experience. Talking about drive forms here, will we find the same manic attention to the use of clothing in Kingdom Hearts 3? And this is something that I've spoken about once before, and I spoke about it. Well, actually, I've spoken about it a couple of times. And Nomura said this: no, this time the clothes of the protagonist will have no effect on the gameplay or on the combat phases, but the type of battle that you can manage will depend exclusively on the use of the keyblades. The form they will take is the very representation of this novelty and will have no direct effect on the characters. So pretty much what this is saying essentially is what I've been saying for a while, in which Sora's clothes aren't really going to be what gives him that power boost like the drive forms did in Kingdom Hearts 2, which is why a lot of people always wanted to have, of course, Sora's clothes in another game, his Kingdom Hearts 2 clothes in another game, because potentially that could have led to like drive forms with any type of characters that he was teamed up with. But when it comes to this situation, when it comes to how drive forms are being handled in Kingdom Hearts 3, they're more so based around the Keyblades, and the reason for this is that because of Sora being a Keyblade master, and I guess you can potentially say him getting proper training. This is something Yin Sid mentioned in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance when he told Sora and Riku, I'm pretty sure, no doubt, that you fancy yourselves masters already, but you know, they didn't take up, of course, a real learning process for the Keyblade, because the Keyblade can do far more than what they were doing with it. So pretty much he was like, I know you fancy yourselves Keyblade masters already, but of course you need to take this exam, improve yourself to be masters. So I'm guessing what's going to happen here is once Sora becomes a Keyblade master, he will then be able to use Keyblade transformations, and this is why the Kingdom Key, the first Keyblade, will be taken to Olympus Coliseum, or of course to Mount Olympus to fight the Rock Titan, is the one Keyblade that doesn't fully transform. That's a logical reason why it doesn't, because although he's starting to unlock this power to transform Keyblades, what it essentially does is unlock the power within him himself, and that's something that goes towards, of course, using Donald and Goofy no longer for drive forms, but rather the connection between Sora and his Keyblade. So that's something that I've been speaking on for a while, and it was cool to hear Tetsuya Nomura actually speak about this. This was actually a good question. So thank you guys for tuning into the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button, and follow me on Twitter at AmaziahYT. Links in the description and pinned comment below, baby. And don't forget to get into the comment section to start up the discussions that you want to have with me, and of course with more Kingdom Hearts fans. This has been your boy, and peace the heck out.
What's left of me? What's left of me? And you and I, there's a new sanctuary, my sanctuary.